Okay, so we'll dive straight in with this with the Universal Installer, and we'll look at PopOS, which is a Debian distribution modified by version. So what you need, you've got two files. You download the run file from the link, and then you pop it into a terminal window and run it. You need DaVinci Resolve, whichever one, Professional or the Studio, the free or the Studio version, in the same folder. So both files sit in the downloads folder. You run it, it'll do some bits and bobs, updates, things like that, and then it should, you see it inflate the, there it is, it inflates the DaVinci Resolve file and then actually installs it, and you should get the installer. Here it is. So we just whiz through this and in it goes. So yeah, so this is Pop, which is a Debian style distribution, but this works the same on all the distributions. There's a few extra bits for the Arch based ones, and Fedora, I think there's a few extra things that pop up when you run it, but it's all very similar. So, but the key thing when you do this is you need to make sure your video card drivers are correct, either AMD or NVIDIA. Okay, so what's it done? All done, completely successful. There we go. So you need to right click on it in Pop, I think. Oh no, it's done it. And continue. Sometimes you have to right click and do allow launching, otherwise it won't launch. And it should launch up, and there you are. So that's the free version of DaVinci Resolve, and this is on an NVIDIA card. So basically I should have some element of AV encoding built into the card. There we go. Let's open a file, put those in there, and just stick and play around with them. One of the big things I'll do in a minute is, if you've got OpenGL, can be an epic if you've got an AMD card, and if you've not got it configured properly, what will happen, and it's a test to see if this is everything's installed, is you can load in the project, you can play stuff, but then when you close down Resolve, open Resolve again, and then you launch your project, it crashes. I think one of the later ones, the Fedora ones, because unfortunately, I've got a 560 Ti and a 960 RX 960, so these are really modern cards. So everything hadn't caught up yet. So I couldn't quite get the drivers installed in Fedora, and one of the operating systems further down the line didn't quite. Well, I'll explain that when I get to it. Anyway, there you go. So this is my second time around. Open it up, and if it opens, yeah, you're good. So your drivers are installed properly. But yeah, AMD, you need, I think the best way is a 770 card or 660 card will be fine. Mine 90 card, it's not quite there yet with support. So, but it's OpenGL. It's the big thing for AMD, and NVIDIA, it's CUDA. Okay, so Manjaro, which is an Arch-based distribution, that's great. And now Arch is really interesting. Arch is really, really powerful. I've been fiddling around with Debian, which is Underbone, Pop, and Mint for ages. I've never really looked at this, but when you start to use a Arch-based distribution, Manjaro is great, and Catchy, which we'll look at in a minute, is brilliant as well. They are so quick. Anyway, I've done an NVIDIA SMI on here just so that I can show you've got my drivers are installed correctly. You can see at the top there, CUDA 12.8. Yeah, so same deal. Downloads folder, the zip file, the Linux zip file you get, and then the DaVinci Resolve run file. Drag the run file in. Now, I'm going to say this, I haven't done any chmod plus X on this. It just seems to run. So I don't know if you've changed permissions on it. You do on some of them, but this you don't seem to. So I forgot my password on that one. Yes, I forgot my password when I did that. No, it's off. So this should, again, same as the one for Pop, do the install, go through it, do an update, and then start the installation process. But I think with the Arch-based distributions, there's a little bit extra at the end. Well, I've left this in because this sort of script is going to be evolving as I find more distributions to get it to work, and I've left in my debugging stuff. So at the bottom, you just have to, well, you'll see it when you get there. I think you have to just click no or something. This takes a little bit of time. Depends, I suppose, on your internet connection and what's in there. Keep going. yeah, so I mean, I thought I'd do this because my other scripts, my Mint and my Ubuntu scripts are really popular. I think I got over 1,000 downloads on my Mint script to get Resolve installed, which is great. So there's obviously people out there that want to do this. So good on you. This is for you lot. You know, hopefully try another distro, or if you need to reinstall Mint, you can use this one going forwards. This script, because it does everything. If you want to try Ubuntu or Pop, you don't have to worry about putting Resolve back on there. And now you can do Arch installations. It's taking a bit of time. And it's like, there you go. And you can see at the top there in the downloads folder that the Resolve zip's extracting. Off it goes, off it goes. Agree. Next. Oh, yeah, I've done that so we just got something to look at on the screen. Otherwise, it's very boring. In goes all the files. And all the files. It's quite daunting, Resolve, when you try to get on Linux to start off with. When you work it out, there's like certain things aren't named correctly, certain things are old. So, do you know what I mean? There's loads of, there's sort of only a few, I think it's about 10 files that you need to sort out. Once you know what you've got to do with them, where they have to live, and how the operating system is, you know, accesses them, it's pretty easy. All right, so at the bottom here, you've got, oh, I missed that. I think I picked up on that, but basically just agree to everything or no. You just don't want to do anything extra, so it should launch now. There we go. I've already been in there, so I've got another file from beforehand. But there's options 1, 2, and 3. I think it's quick fix, debugging, and skip. So skip it because it works. I mean, I'm just going to leave. I've left them in the code so I can come back to it if I find people report problems. So there you go. So that's Manjaro. Pretty simple. And the footage in there is a screen. What is it called? It's just a recording I did of one's ProRes, and one of them is MP4. And this is on the free version. So the NVIDIA driver, I think I've just done it. It shows AV1. It won't let me export in MP4. I don't think it lets me export in AV1, but not MP4. Anyway, that one is Manjaro. Yeah, what have I done here then? Oh, did I render something out? Interesting. Because I have to do so many, I've had to do this so many times, so many installations. There we go. That's it. So that's Manjaro. And Arch based. Right, Fedora. This was a nightmare. It couldn't get to work with the NVIDIA drivers. I put the 9060 XT in there, and it works, but you need to get the right drivers. So I've had to hack the OpenGL to stop it from crashing, so that, but if you've got a proper driver, not one of my super duper new ones, then for my super duper video cards, they'll be right. So yeah, standard thing. DaVinci Resolve in the downloads folder, run the file, and there's something called SELinux. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of security feature, and it sort of cripples the program as it does it. But what it does, this fixes it, then fixes it, takes it off, gives the right permissions to the run file, and then when you reboot, it goes back to how it should be. But obviously, if you're using the scripts, I mean, I'm not going to take any responsibility for it. I mean, if it does something else and wipes out your copy of Toy Story 5 on your hard drive or whatever it is, it's not my problem. Anyway, yeah, so this will do the download. But I had real huge problems with any Red Hat based installation. I did Rocky as well. I've got Rocky to work, but any of the Red Hat based ones, I just couldn't get it to the end bit. So I got this as far as I could hack it. But if you've got a proper driver installation of NVIDIA, a proper AMD installation with OpenGL, this should work and go all the way through. I mean, it will go all the way through. You just won't, you'll have the video problem. So it's still doing it now. But this was absolutely, this took me a day to get this to work. And I still couldn't get the video drivers installed. No matter what, it did end up with a black screen. I mean, it's just a pain. I don't know why the Red Hat one's a bit trickier to do. Arch, simple. Debian, fine. Here we go. It's going in now. And you'll see that there's some weird stuff that pops up when we get through this installation. We'll look at the end. Just ignore it all. Okay, so I'll go in. It's basically about changing permissions for the SELinux thing. But when you reboot it, it reapplies the SELinux permissions. Okay, so there it is. You click finish. Finish, right. At the bottom there's a bit more code. And it just, read that, important, SELinux, right? Okay. And then you just want to skip, which is 3. And then it'll do a permissions thing. Now, when you reboot, the permissions will go back, but this is to get it launched. So it'll launch this, but remember, I've hacked this. So I could get something of OpenGL going. It won't have any video. So the video you won't see the video, but you need the proper drivers installed. But it works. Here goes black video. So you need to make sure your OpenGL is correct, as opposed to the one that I've just hacked on open source OpenGL, just so that Resolve wouldn't give me the GPU error. But yeah, so got the proper drivers, you'll be good to go now. Not like me with my 9060 XT, which, it doesn't work yet. So yeah, drag at the timeline, black video. It's highly likely, because I've hacked the OpenGL, if I shut this down and relaunch it, it will crash. So yeah, just make sure you've got a proper OpenGL in there correctly, and you'll be good. So yeah, that's Fedora 42, but that should be right for Rocky and Red Hat. Like CachyOS. Now this is brilliant. CachyOS is brilliant. It's just so quick, and it's just a really, I was quite surprised by this. It's sort of, there you go, quickly, same files again, DaVinci Resolve and the installer file in the downloads folder. Go to console. I'll talk more about this when it starts running, so you understand it. Console. Even that's quite cool. And then just drag your, there we are. I'm doing video SMI. Check it. Did I do that? There we go. Yeah, you see, this picked up the latest version of the driver, pretty sharpish, and it's good for the latest hardware. These ones, CachyOS is, but the thing is, that CachyOS is really, really snappy and really quick, and apparently it's brilliant for gaming as well. Okay, so off it goes, very much like Manjaro, go through the same procedure. But yeah, I like CachyOS. It's a much more user-friendly installation of Arch, and it's very powerful. It gives you all the stuff for, ignore this, it keeps popping up with these, just ignore that stuff, because it's obviously bringing in packages. I think it does it twice. Just ignore that bit, and just keep going with it. And it does take a while on the Arch installations to check it's got the right bits. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, but no, it installs the correct drivers. It installs all the bits for Steam. It seems to be really responsive in the interface. It was odd. It's like when you get a new computer, you've upgraded from a really old one, and like it's strange. This is the same computer, but Catchy putting that on there is like really responsive and snappy. Another one of those reboot things. Ignore that. I think there's one more before it lets you in. Yeah, updating database package. Yeah, it takes a bit of time, this one. But it will get there, and it works. Very long time. So, I mean, obviously I've done this like this, so you can see how long it really takes. I'm sure if I'd have just said just do drag it in and install it, people would have gone, it doesn't work. But yeah, it does. Still going. Why is this one much longer? I don't know. Anyway, I guess there it goes. Now the Resolve's the file's inflated, and now we can do the install. Here we go. Here we go. Agree. Show debugging. Get something to look at. And off it goes. Off it goes. Yep, finish. So just click 3 on this one. So that's what I said before, it's got my debugging features built in. 3, you want. Just skip it. There you go. And now it should run fine. And here we go. I think because this has got the drivers in, I can bring some video into this one actually and get it to work. There you are. Bit of video, both of those. So that's ProRes and that's an MP4. So you should be able to see that. There we go. In the timeline, have a play around with it. Working fine. And then I don't know if I did on this one. Did I close it and reopen it just to test it? Not sure. Let's have a look. What have we got? We've got MP4. We've got AV1. Yeah, I think the driver's not quite there with this one. It's not. There's no MP4 NVEC. This is giving me AV1, but no NVEC, whatever it's called. ProRes. So I think that's driver's 5070, which 5070-144. This is a 5060 Ti, so it's literally on the bleeding edge of getting its drivers. And bad choice of time to change the card for me, really. I should have stayed on the 4,000 cards until I finished this scripts. Okay, there you go, that's it done. And that's Resolve on CachyOS, dead simple. Next up, Mint, really popular Linux distribution. This is super simple, basically the same as Pop, because this is a Debian based installation. There we go. So do a DaVinci Resolve run installer in the same folder in downloads, just drag it into a terminal window and run it. Off it goes. Password, yeah. Update dependencies, yeah. And this will work on any version of Resolve. So if they change if it's like Resolve 25, it'll work, or Resolve 20.2, it doesn't look for that. So all you need to do is drag in that package folder, whatever they give you for the Linux distribution, and Bob's your auntie. Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy. I was writing scripts for everybody. Can you do it for this? Can you do it for MX Linux? I don't know if it works with MX Linux, by the way. Can you do it for this? Can you do it for that? I thought, well, why don't I just do one? The only thing I haven't managed to crack with this is OpenSUSE. That's a totally different thing, and I'm not sure if I'll even attempt that, because I don't think there's many sysadmins out there driving server farms who want to run Resolve, but maybe head down the line. I mean, the one that I really want to do, as you'll see in a second, the one that I'm really interested in cracking, but I can't quite get there yet because I don't have a graphics card that'll do it. Well, we'll see that in a second. There we go, and we're in, and we're doing our installation now. Off it goes. Agree, install. Now, I mean, I do recommend, this is the free version of DaVinci Resolve, which is great. I would really seriously get the professional one. You get so much more in it. I mean, this is great to learn on, but the Pro, it's like $250. It's probably the best investment you'll ever make for a piece of software. I mean, I got it free with a camera, but I mean, I've had it for years, and it's seriously, I mean, look at what you pay for Adobe and all the updates for Premiere. It's ridiculous. Okay, so that's gone in, and that should launch straight off the bat. There we go. Yep, and we're off. There we go. Quick install, continue, HD, Final Cut X, and you're all set. Enjoy DaVinci Resolve 12. And then you go. There we go. I think it's just MP4 there. Change project frame rate. Have a play. Sure, I've just gone through each time I've recorded this, I've just gone through to make sure you can see video, because the big thing everybody goes is, I've got black video, I can't do anything. It's all about your video card drivers. AMD, as I've said, OpenGL, NVIDIA, CUDA. You have to make sure you've got the best available drivers, not necessarily the latest ones. As long as they meet the requirements of DaVinci Resolve, which is on the website, then you're okay. But you do need to get that bit right. Otherwise, I mean, we can install it, but you just won't get right videos. I don't know if you can do it on internal graphics cards yet. That's something for a future project. I mean, I've tried on various versions of to get it working on something on internal graphics, which is something I'm going to sort of get to, but I can't get it to go on there. Anyway, so that's oh yeah, I've closed it and opened it just to check that I've not messed up. Yeah, you see, if you've got your installation wrong, it would crash then. That's the OpenGL. I don't know why, I could never isolate what that was. And here's the one, Steam. So Steam's an Arch-based distribution, and people are beginning to put it onto their desktops. Here we are, I'm in Steam. Now, going forward, obviously, putting DaVinci Resolve on a console might be a bridge too far. On main and stable at the moment. But obviously, as they open up SteamOS onto more powerful handhelds, and you can also install it on a desktop, then this could become a viable option. I'm just going through some of the settings in there that you get to the advanced channels. So, and the big problem that is, though, with the handheld one, you're using an integrated graphics chip, and you're also on an RMDA2 chip, so you can't really get it to work. I can't hack it yet. So here we are in Steam. So what I need to do, unfortunately, I've got a 9060 XT card, and I can't do it at the moment. You need a 6060 or a 5050 AMD card. You cannot use NVIDIA cards. And then I'm going to obviously buy one at some point, hack it, so you could get it on here. But my end goal, realistically, with this entire process is not just to do that. I want to put DaVinci Resolve onto a handheld device, they've got it on the iPad, but I thought because this is out there and they are getting way more powerful, these devices, this will be the way to do it. As you'll see, it installs properly, but it will not run because I'm using an internal graphics chip. I'm using a 6080M, which it won't work on. Resolve won't work on. I may get some time trying to hack it to work on integrated graphics, but I've sort of got so far. If the integrated graphics is too old, there we go, it'll go, is too old for the OpenGL or the ROCm installation that you need to get it to go. But wouldn't it be great fun? Here we go, it's going in. But you'll see it'll fail on the GPU initialization. If I just crack that bit, I can get it on a Steam Deck. So the next generation, maybe, who knows, if they're RNA-D3 and it sort of catches up. At the end of the day, SteamOS is just Arch. There's nothing really, it's optimized for Steam. Here we go, finish, and you'll see it'll launch. Yeah, ready to go. And you just double click it, it will go. But it will fail on the GPU because I cannot crack that bit yet. Here we go, unsupported GPU processing mode. So that's as far as I've got. But if I could get a recognized GPU in there, 5050 or 6060, maybe a 70 series card, an AMD card, I could fiddle around with the OpenGL installation, and I could probably get that to work. But that's for that's stretch goal. That's my next project, really, is to try and get it onto a handheld. I think it'd be quite fun. Anyway, hang on a minute. We've gone black screen. What are we going to next? We are going to Ubuntu. This is 2204 LTS, so it's basically the one that's supported forever, and not very exciting. It's very much like, I'm just showing you the NVIDIA drivers on this. 50, oh yeah, I've got the super modern ones on that one. Yeah, I actually was having huge problems getting the drivers on. Then realised about a year ago I wrote a script about how to get drivers on, so I ran my own script. It's ridiculous. I've written so many of these things, I forget what I've written. Anyway, same deal. Both files are in the downloads folder. Just drag that into your terminal and run. There it is. Installation dependencies. Yeah. Checking for broken packages. Yeah, so I'll be really interested to see, hopefully people can get this working on their machines. And the thing is, if there are any problems with it, let me know. But if it's to do with graphics cards, I can't help you really. I can get Resolve on there, but I struggle with the graphics cards drivers on Linux sometimes. It's easy if the card's been around for a year and it's been supported. Integrated graphics is really tricky, and I haven't figured out how to do that with the Resolve yet. But I think there's a certain generation of integrated graphics at work. I've never played with Intel cards, and I don't think they work very well with it. There's no documentation about the new Intel cards working with Resolve. I'm going to have to check that out because that's another whole area, isn't it, to look at. But they're not really, the Intel cards aren't, haven't really been aimed at creators. I think they've been aimed more at the gamers. It's like the Battle Mage cards. But yeah, integrating graphics and Intel is probably the way to go. But again, they're quite new on the scene, so it's difficult to, to do this. So I've done as many as I can with this. So it should I've done as many as I can with this, and it works, and I think it's pretty good. And so so have a play with it. Obviously, in the comments below, let me know what works, what doesn't work. I've not done older versions of Fedora, so if it's in the list, I've tested it. If you're going to Fedora 40 or something, I haven't played with that. NX, Linux, things like that, I haven't done. I know there's tons of Linux distros, but I just tried to pick like the top 10 out to use. So that should get everybody covered. But the aim of the game here is to get DaVinci Resolve on a Steam Deck. I think that's what I'm after, or on a SteamOS, because I think SteamOS is going to become a really big force in the next couple of years, because it's super quick. The gamers generation loves it, but then when you flip that off, you've got a really powerful operating system underneath, and you can just put word processors. You've got DaVinci Resolve, all these kind of things, and people are beginning to gravitate towards that away from Mac and Windows, because those operating systems, both of them, I mean, Mac's useless for games, like hands down, and Windows just is so cluttered, and background tasks going on. I mean, I've done this in other videos. If you play games on both of those platforms, for example, it lags and stutters. Now, that's games, but so what's it do when we're using powerful software like this? We're using DaVinci Resolve. What's being stolen in the back? What sort of, I don't know, how much efficiency are you losing because you're using Windows over a Linux box? Anyway, there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching.